super excited about it, and I'm going to show y'all some footage. Oh, and this is my Fred Rogers pen I got. I wear it proudly. We are here.
I'm not going to stand until someone. Yeah, no point.
Hey. So we're headed to tribal art and painting. Oh, we're going to go to paintings first. All right. So pretty here. Look at the spears out in the water. They look glass. Look at this. Crystal. Okay.
So that's definitely 1887, by the way.
Oh,
It looks
okay.
like it's dated 87.
Okay.
And there's no question it's 19th century. All these sail vessels and clippers. I will look the artist up, but
Okay.
it's a nice watercolor by somebody with some decent capability. This stuff
you see
is
the birds, yeah.
This stuff is all, we call it foxing. It's mold, basically. It's exposure to water. You've seen a lot on old books.
Right.
And then see where it slipped down a little bit here?
Yes.
Like it's in real great shape above.
Uh-huh.
But this is all, we call it toning. If anything, if a work on paper like this has a backing that isn't acid-free, and I'm sure at some point this had a backing that wasn't.
Right.
Or if it gets a lot of exposure to sunlight, it just happens. Toning and foxing. So let's check this artist out and see if he or she are listed.
Okay.
Meaning ever come up before for sale. Oh, it's with them.
What do you say, couple hundred?
And J or G. Found them. Yeah, here we go. Let me make sure about a signature. So there's a marine painter named Joseph Witham. Let's see. Who was English?
He's a British artist, if
Yeah.
this is even
Yeah,
his.
which would make sense. And
Because I don't know where that would have, what port that's supposed to be, with all
I'm wondering if it's London. Because it's a pretty...
You just moved from there. Is it London?
Is it London
1887.
140 years ago? I don't know that there are many cities that...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm just trying to grab his signature. Even though I'm sure it's him. So he was essentially I don't know if it's the right term, but I call him a ship portrait artist. So a lot of artists, as a means to make a living, would set up shop at ports and solicit commissions of painting these ships. There were many American artists like that, many English, even Chinese, like in the Hong Kong harbor, Chinese export paintings. There were a million of them around because I think they could make a good living that way. But this is a lot more involved. There are.
Well, I was wondering about that flag right there, that little blue. I wonder if that's I don't know, Swiss flag.
Well, similarly marked. British flag, right? I think.
Well,
or Norway.
Norway.
Switzerland or Norway?
It might be, Northern Europe. So, nevertheless, okay, we've got a few things going on. We know the artist, and I'll make a note of that, by the way. 19th century marine painter. The work is a watercolor, not an oil, which is what he customarily painted in, oil on canvas paintings. The watercolor is considered to be maybe a slightly lesser medium, more inexpensive, paper, etc. But this is a nice scene. It's a busier scene than most that I see here, which in most cases it's just a solitary ship, like that. Like here's a liner. Bound to America, 1881. I really like the subject. So I'd take some value off if I were estimating it like in an auction capacity because of the condition, but I would estimate it in the same region as many of these are. And this is an outlier. I'll show you what his typical marine scenes have sold for. Here's one that sold for $480, $230. 560.
I'll take the 560.
Honestly, I would probably put it, considering condition, at $300 to $500.
Wow. Okay.
And it would be a lot of fun for a collector to sort of identify these and
By the
definitively
boats.
identify the city. But it's a nice watercolor. That's a good find. What was it? $2? How much?
Look at the back. It cost me $4.94.
Really? Who priced it at $4.94?
After COVID.
It was?
And it had like this old tape on it, and it was falling off. See those? And I went and put this on there just because this is what keeps this in.
Okay,
And these keep the glass in. But you can see this. This is old, like writing, and that may have been like from 1920s for all I know.
Yeah.
1940s.
Well, it's an older backing to it. But very nice painting. I dig it. Thanks for bringing it. Aspect to it. Like, I would think that, and I see that it's signed, but I probably will not have any luck finding this artist's work at having surfaced at auction, because I think its purpose was to be more decorative, or it was a hobbyist, like a weekend painter, who might have painted it. But let's see, is it Glick?
I don't know. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, Glick.
Nice piece.
It looks like a old window frame that they used, like out of the garbage or something.
Yeah, it's like found materials. And I wonder if this is.
And I did not clean it. Like, I mean, I wiped the dust off, but like.
That might be. Yeah, that's painted straight to that.
Yeah. So it had to have been like after. So if that, just say that advertisement's like 1920s.
Yeah.
Well, we know that this got to be painted after that came out.
I would imagine
obviously,
so, or approximately the same time. But it's sort of a naive rendering of a coastal scene, and a value for this would be around like $80 to $100 or so, something like that, just as a decorative painting to hang out.
Okay.
But yeah, we won't have any success finding an.
Here's the love thing. Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. I wanted to tell y'all about I got to experience going to a road show today, and I got some things appraised, and I wanted to show y'all some things that I got appraised. So this was appraised in the paintings and drawings booth. So this is a painting that I found about 2 years ago. There you go. I paid $4.94. Oh, this is bright light. $4.94 at Goodwill, and it was a watercolor by J. Whitman and painted in 1887. It's not in that great a condition, but I think it's a great painting. And it was appraised for, it's called Watercolor on Paper, an English Harbor Scene, 1887, by a British painter who specialized in ship portraits. And this is an unusual scope. Don't know what that means, but anyway. So anyway, it appraised for about $500, give or take. So then I got another, it's a marine scene on oil on the board is what he called it. Maybe painted in 1920s. And we don't know who painted it because it's sort of an awkward kind of a name. It's painted on there. But let me get this out the back of my car. It's somebody named Glick. But this is it. I love the colors. And they actually painted it on the back of a smoke bank note. Smoke cigar 5 cents banknote. But this, let's see what he said. So this at auction would bring about 80 to 100 is what he put on there. So got that, and I got that at the same Goodwill. Then I went to the Tribal Arts appraisal booth and had this appraised. I don't know if it's showing up orange on camera, so I don't know if y'all can see it. Because I knew it was made of wool, and I could tell it was handmade. I got this in Dallas about a year ago, but I didn't know anything about it. So but it's red and cream and black, and it appraised for right around 100, and it's not, she didn't know how old because she appraised mostly American Indian work, but she felt like it was maybe made in Mexico, in northern Mexico. But so I mean, it was about $100 if I sell it. So it showed me how to wash it, and she made sure we brought it folded like a square, and she made sure we folded it correctly, and that she told me how to wash it and what to use and what not to use. And so just very graceful, gracious appraiser, very sweet. And then I had one more thing that I had found a couple of years ago, and I know a little bit of the history about this, but I still didn't know if it was worth anything or if they're hard to find. Do you see them, often or whatever? So I brought this and had it appraised, and this is a bowl made by John Westman, original creations from Apple Valley, California. The Golden Land in the Mojave Desert. This article is made of coffee grounds and corn cobs. You clean it with a damp cloth polish with wax, made in 1969. And I don't know if y'all can see that, but it looks like daisies, but those are flattened corn cobs. And it has lasted that many years. It's got a little bit of wear right there, but anyway, she didn't give me any kind of, she just said this is very unusual. She went around showing other appraisers, and they read it and said, wow, that's amazing. And but no money value on it. I don't know, I mean, it's not like it's priceless or anything. But anyway, so those were the 4 things that I brought to the show and had appraised. Super excited about it, and I'm going to show y'all some footage. Oh, and this is my Fred Rogers pen I got. I wear it proudly.